You've got Q's, I've got A's. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're brand new here, hi, my name's Courtney, and 2 years ago I got wildly interested in the curly girl method, and my hair went from looking like this to looking like this. And needless to say, I have deeply enjoyed learning tips and tricks from the curly girl method to improve the health of my hair. And yeah, if you want to learn more about the curly girl method, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell, because that's what I love talking about. And today, I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A session. I did ask you guys over on Instagram if you had any questions that I could possibly help you out with, and oh boy, there were a lot. So that is what we're doing today. I thought it would be a little bit easier, a little bit more helpful maybe to answer all the questions here in this format on YouTube, because I can maybe give a more thorough, complete answer than I would in Instagram stories. It's easier to find the video and reference it. You don't have to go digging through all the highlights and anything like that. So that is what we're doing today. If you like this idea and find these Q&A videos helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it. It really does help me out, and it lets me know that the video accomplished its purpose in that it was actually helpful, because that's the whole point of this channel. I want to be as helpful as humanly possible. I feel like I say that every time, but it's true. I really do want to help as much as I possibly can, because the curly girl method can be a little confusing. There's like a lot going on with this method, so hopefully answering some of these questions is helpful. Disclaimer, there were a lot of questions over on Instagram, and I know I'm not going to be able to get to each and every single one of them without making this video 10 million years long. I'm going to do my very best to give concise but informative answers to every question. So without further ado, let's jump right into these questions. The first question is from Amy. I'm not going to try and pronounce all of these Instagram handles because I know I'm not going to do it right, but I will throw the question right up here on the screen and I'll read the question. When you shower on a non-wash day, do you just wear a shower cap? I'm weird. Shower caps, I can do it when I'm putting on like a heat cap on top or like putting it up in a turban towel thing, but just wearing a shower cap and hearing the water hit the shower cap gives me the heebie-jeebies. There's something crinkly and itchy and plasticky and weird and uncomfortable to me about the shower cap. What I do is I actually throw my hair up in the perfect hair care towel like this. I have my hair up in a pineapple from the night before, and I just wrap it up in the perfect hair care towel. It's not perfectly waterproof. If I did really soak the towel under the shower spray, my hair would get wet, but it does protect my hair enough. I'm not necessarily sticking my head underneath the shower on a non-wash day. I'm focused on cleansing other things. So it does wind up working really, really well. It doesn't cause any extra frizz. It works perfect for me. Gabby asks, what's the biggest mistake you've done throughout your curly girl method journey? The biggest mistake I've done is expecting my hair to somehow spring up into ringlets. I definitely had some serious curl envy when I first started. I would look at pictures like this on Instagram and like this and wish that my hair would look like theirs. Unfortunately, that really set me up to be thoroughly disappointed, because I live in the 2A, 2B, 2C category on a good day, and not accepting my hair for how it grows out of my head was my biggest mistake. Instead of nurturing what my hair is, I spent the first 6 months trying to make my hair something that it wasn't. When I finally did accept my hair for how it is and start enjoying my hair for how it is, that was a big turning point for me. Stella asks, how much hair shed do you have? Show pictures maybe. I do have a whole video on this, and I will have it linked up in the eye if you want to check it out. I do show exactly how much hair I lose after 4 days of no brushing and no washing. I will say the comment section on that video kind of made me chuckle because somehow it turned into a competition of who loses the most hair, and lots of people were saying that I don't lose very much hair, which is fine. It feels like a whole lot to me because I am used to seeing a certain amount of hair fall in the bathtub, and then when I started doing the curly girl method, I started noticing a lot more hair fall. There are some factors that come into play in the amount of hair in your hand that you shed on wash day. If your hair is really, really long, it's gonna look like you have more hair in your hand. If your hair is really, really coarse, it's gonna look like you have more hair. If your hair is dark colored, like black, you're gonna look like you have more hair in your hand. My hair is fine. At the time I filmed that video, it was shorter. It was not as long as it is now. It is a lighter color. So the amount of hair that I have in my hand in the video doesn't look like much, but it's definitely 4 times as much hair as I was used to seeing before starting the curly girl method. Just know that it is incredibly normal to lose about 100 hairs a day. That's the average number of hairs a human will shed. And if you're not washing your hair and not brushing your hair and you're using gel and you have some wave curl to your hair, when you shed that hair, it's not gonna fall out of your hair. You're not gonna shed it as you go for a walk around your block, but it will fall out of your hair when you shampoo and condition it, especially when you condition it, because that's when stuff starts slipping out of your hair. Don't freak out if you start feeling lots and lots and lots of hair coming out of your head when you're showering, doing the curly girl method. It's normal to notice an increase in hair fall. I say this every time, but I am going to insert the caveat here that if you start noticing significant hair loss, your ponytail is getting significantly smaller, you're starting to see bald patches on your scalp, your part on your hair is looking way wider than it used to, go see your doctor. This is an internal issue that needs to be checked on. There may be something out of balance with your nutrition or your hormones. Anyway, I spent a long time on this question. Let's see what the next question is, shall we? Miss Amy York, I think. What is my favorite single styler without glycerin? I hate picking favorites. I'm not going to pick a favorite. I will say that there are several products without glycerin that I really, really enjoy. The top 3 that come to mind are the Kinky Curly Curling Custard, Harry's Gel, and the BioSilk Rock Hard Jelly. Those 3 are really, really nice, and I find that the Kinky Curly Curling Custard pairs really well with either of those gels. Miranda asks, how to start the curly girl method without the funds to try endless products? I prefer the least amount of product. I feel you. I know that I went a little crazy and I definitely bought all the things because I wanted to. I thought that would be fun. Things that I did in the beginning to help me conserve funds were to purchase from places that did allow returns. So if I tried the products out 3 or 4 times and could really tell that they weren't going to work for me, I would just return them. Another thing that was really helpful was buying small sample sizes. That way I didn't have to commit to the full-size product and spend the full-sized amount. If you're looking to use the least number of products possible, in my personal opinion, you can't really do the curly girl method with just a co-wash and a gel. I know a lot of people do, but I found that when I did that exclusively, it was detrimental to the health of my hair. It didn't help my hair become its wavy, curliest, healthiest state. I found that having a clarifying shampoo, a deep conditioner, and then also having a regular low poo, a regular rinse out conditioner, leave-in conditioner, and gel, those were the bare minimum of products that my hair needed in order to stay its healthiest. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. There's a lot of really good options out there. I do have a whole video called Affordable Curly Girl Product Favorites. I also have an Amazon Curly Girl Starter Kit video that you might find particularly helpful if you're wanting to know where to start out with the least number of products possible. What gel? I'm new to the curly girl method and can't get a cast to save my life. Just know that getting a good, hard, crunchy cast isn't necessary to the success of a wash day. You can have a really great hair day without a cast, but if you're looking to get a hard, crunchy cast because it's fun, you might look at Harry's gel from Target. I'll have that linked down below. It'll give you a good cast, and it's got some crazy good hold, so I kind of like it. You do smell like a man, and the smell does linger, but I kind of don't care because my hair looks so pretty when I use that stuff. Will washing and styling your hair too often slow the progress of your hair? I love this question, but it's a little bit tricky to answer. I do think the curly girl method is all about balance. You can always push something too far one way or the other. I think maybe washing your hair every single day with a pretty clarifying kind of low poo, like maybe with something like the Giovanni Tea Tree Triple Treat Shampoo. That's like the most clarifying low poo I've ever tried. It'll really dry out your hair, make it squeaky clean, remove lots of buildup. If you're using that every single day, yeah, your hair progress might be a little bit slowed. But I do know that when I first started the curly girl method, I absolutely washed my hair every single day because one, day 2 hair looked terrible, and secondly, I really wanted to be able to practice the application techniques, the styling, the plopping, the diffusing in order to get better at it. And I did co-wash quite a bit more often, and I was really focusing on using hydrating products. I don't think that slowed my progress. And I do know that when I stretch my wash days out really, really far, like go 7 days without washing my hair, my scalp is on fire. And scalp health is where hair health starts. So if your scalp is unhealthy, you're not washing your hair often enough, you could be causing issues there, and that could slow your progress as well. Those are my thoughts on that. It's all about balance. Maybe not wash your hair every single day. Maybe wash it every other day to every 3 days if you possibly can, but I don't think washing your hair too often when you're using the right products is a terrible thing. It's all about balance. Best products for fine and thin hair. If your hair is really, really fine, you might find that products with a little bit more protein in them, look for ingredients that say hydrolyzed soy protein, hydrolyzed rice protein, hydrolyzed quinoa protein, things like that, or amino acids are good for helping bulk up fine and thin hair and giving it a little bit more substance and structure. You might really find that helpful. Again, the curly girl method is about balance. You don't want to use copious amounts of those ingredients. You might protein overload your hair, but as a general rule, fine and thin hair does benefit greatly from good amounts of protein. Best way to fix moisture overload? Protein. Goodness, my hair gets really protein overloaded, and my personal favorite product is the Curl Junkie Repair Me. It is a wonderful protein treatment. They have been out of stock, thank you COVID, but they're doing everything they can to get back in stock. I think I will go ahead and have that link down below. Also, the EcoSlay Matcha Protein Boost Treatment. That is a really interesting protein treatment. I just got it. I haven't tried it yet. I tried it on my sister's hair, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. Oh, another thing about fixing moisture overload. I do find that clarifying with a sulfate is definitely helpful. It's going to remove all the buildup. It's going to dry out your hair just a little bit, which is kind of a good thing, and it gives your hair a nice clean slate to be able to soak up the protein treatment. Like, the protein treatment will have the best chance to penetrate into your hair when there's no buildup blocking it. So using a sulfate before, then doing a protein treatment, that's the way to go. Anna, how can I help the back of my head hold their curls and waves better? It is very normal to have different curl patterns all over your head, and the back of your head may just be a looser curl pattern. My friend Heather over on Instagram, she's the perfect example. She has ringlets on the sides of her head, and the back of her head is a looser wave pattern. But if you are wanting to give the back of your head the best shot at curling up, really make sure that you're applying product to the back of your head. The way I do that is when I style my hair upside down, I swing my head to the side and I really make sure I'm applying product and scrunching all the way around in the back of my head. If I don't do that, I do know that the back of my hair isn't going to have any chance at all at curling up. I love this question. What did your husband think when you started CGM? He is a dear. He is precious, and there is no doubt that my hair looked horrible when I first started trying to do the curly girl method. But what he loved about it is that I was wearing my hair down, because before doing the curly girl method, I had my hair up constantly. And when I started doing the curly girl method, I was putting so much work and effort into my hair that I was wearing it down a lot more often. And that's what he noticed. He didn't notice the frizz or the stringiness. He just noticed that his wife was wearing his hair down, and so he liked it. Talk to me about pre-pooing, how to do it and when it's necessary. Pre-pooing is a treatment you do before you shampoo, pre-poo. And typically it's an oil. That's the most common pre-poo I have seen. And when you use it is when your hair is feeling particularly inelastic. So when my hair is feeling a little dry and a little rough and a little extra tangly, I will apply 5 to 6 drops of the Innate Life Rose Hair Elixir. That's my personal favorite pre-poo on my hair, and I will finger comb it through my entire head. I'll do a really good scalp massage with it, and then I'll put my hair up in my nighttime pineapple, wake up the next day, and wash that pre-poo out of my hair. I typically do a pre-poo the night before I'm going to clarify and deep condition if I'm going to do that. Would you say someone with virgin hair and no heat damage has low porosity hair? Theoretically, yes. While you can still have some damage to your hair's cuticle by using excessive amounts of sulfates, silicones, brushing your hair constantly, sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, using a terry cloth towel, you probably have lower porosity hair to begin with than someone who is doing all those things plus has copious amounts of sun or bleach damage on their hair. Do you use conditioner after a hair mask? No, I do not. What I do is I will clarify, use the deep conditioner, rinse all the deep conditioner out of my hair, and then apply leave-in and stylers. Is it mandatory to diffuse to get a decent look? No, it is not. My hair looked so decent when I air dried it. Here, you can check out that experiment if you want. But I get my preferred results when I diffuse my hair. Those are like my, yes, totally on point results. And I also find that diffusing actually saves me time, because when I air dry, I spend hours trying desperately not to touch my hair and to be so careful not to break up my curl clumps, that spending the 30 minutes diffusing my hair versus the hours of air drying works better for me than not. So I prefer diffusing, but it's not necessary or mandatory for a good look. How to get curls to start closer at the root. Really scrunch the excess water out of your hair on your final scrunch of the gel in your hair. Plop your hair, then immediately once you take the plop off, diffuse upside down. And yes, I am on day 4 hair right now, and I tried a crown braid today. It's not disguising the greasy roots, I'm sorry. But anyway, diffuse your hair upside down immediately, and that is what helps encourage the curl closest to the root. But also know and accept and love that sometimes curl patterns just start further down your head, like mine. How to care for your hair if you're a daily swimmer. Should you wash every day? I did address this question in this video here if you're curious, but it depends on where you're swimming. If you're swimming in chlorinated water, make sure that you're getting your hair wet with clean tap water before you jump in the chlorinated pool. Try and incorporate a chlorine removing shampoo into your wash day routine at least once a week. Make sure you deep condition after using a chlorine removing shampoo. Those things are strong, but yeah, just make sure that you're getting your hair wet before you get in the pool. Really rinse all that chlorine out of your hair as best you can once you're done with the pool, and don't worry too much about it. Enjoy your summer life. All right, guys, clearly it's a different day. I am filming this outro on a different day, and here is why. I realized while filming this Q&A video that I talk a lot. Also, a bunch of you had amazing questions. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna split these videos up into 2 videos. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell clicked because you will want to be around for part 2. It's coming. Anyway, that is it for part 1 of this Q&A. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!